What's up, Titans fans? It's your boy CD back again with another episode of TitanUp 2day. Today's episode I bring to you on game day. It's Sunday. Kickoff is right around the corner. We finally get this opportunity to show the AFC South and the rest of the AFC and the NFL that we are serious, that we are the contenders, and we will be coming out of the AFC South division as champions. But first off, we have to win this game. Jacksonville Jaguars are currently in our house right now, warming up, and we need to show them who is the actual boss. But before we do that, there are keys to this game that I'm gonna bring to you. See these keys coming up after this break, but no need to delay. Let's get down to it. All right, game day week 2 is finally here. It's time to take on these Jacksonville Jaguars and show the rest of the country, the rest of the world, that we are the AFC South leaders and we are contenders and not pretenders. And there's no other way to do that than to slap up the #1 Jacksonville Jaguars right now atop the AFC South. But before we do that, we have to know how to go about doing that. Obviously, last week it worked out. Our keys to the game, not all of them were met, but most of them were, and we did sneak away with the win against the Broncos. But this week will be a little bit different. The keys go just like this. See these keys coming to you right now. The #1 thing that we need to do, we need to make sure that we finish every drive. Every drive needs to be finished. Now, I want to make sure that we understand what I'm saying by that. I'm not saying that we need to score 20 touchdowns on every single drive that we need to score a touchdown. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we need to finish every drive, meaning if we get down to the red zone, we need to score points. Obviously, more touchdowns are better for us, and we can win more games easily with more touchdowns. But if we can't get that red zone touchdown, we have to make the field goal. Now, if we get inside field goal range, inside the 35-yard line-ish, where we can kick a 52-yard or less field goal, we need to be able to convert those field goals. Now, obviously, we had issues with that last week, and it almost cost us the game. I hope that Stephen Gostkowski has ironed out all those issues and is ready to go, but we have to finish drives. And again, that's touchdowns are great. Field goals are second best, but even if we're unable to get a first down or whatever, we have to be able to punt the ball. Brett Kern continue doing that and put the pressure on them. Keep the pressure on the Jacksonville Jaguars and control the game from a time of possession standpoint, as well as make them do what they don't want to do and get off their game plan. But we need to finish every single drive. Every drive. All right, so #2, key to victory. See these keys coming up. Disciplined pass defense. All right, so Gardner Minshew, he had over 90% completion. He went on a stretch, I think, of 15 completions in a row last week against the Colts. He's very, very patient and meticulous when he's throwing the ball. He likes to check the ball down, little ins, little outs. He's not too aggressive, but he will take a shot whenever it's given to him. A couple of his touchdowns that he threw were to wide open wide receivers that was just bad coverage, blown coverage, and the guys were wide open. For us, we have to stay tight and play discipline. We blitz, we got a lot of exotic looks. Whenever we're doing a blitz from a different position, a cornerback or safety, the other folks have to be able to fill those voids and make sure that we play disciplined pass defense, because this guy will take advantage of it and score on us, and we have to play discipline. All right, last key to this victory, win the turnover battle. Now, that's easy. We say that pretty much every week. Hey, if you win the turnover battle, you win the game. Got it. The problem is, last week, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat a team which I do believe they were not supposed to beat, and it was because the Colts just handed it to them. There was 2 interceptions that they had, both of their turnovers, and they did not turn over the ball at all. So that +2 turnover ratio for them helped them go forward. Watching the game again, I saw that there was another interception that actually got called back for a holding call that was on the other side of the field that Phillip Rivers threw. So in theory, there was 3 interceptions by that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. We threw a couple interceptions. Ryan Tannehill did as well, but they got called back and it didn't hurt us. We have to be smart with the ball, and we need to win this turnover battle. If we do that, not only with strips and causing fumbles and picking up fumbles, but anything that we can do in the pass game will be significant to getting us in the right direction. So if we do these three, that is, 1, finish every single drive, finish it correctly. 2, make sure that we play strong pass defense and smart, disciplined pass defense. And lastly, we win the turnover battle. We win this game handily. Like I said before, I think that we're going to win this game pretty easily anyway. But to ensure that we have this victory in the bag, we need to do these keys, these 3 keys to victory, and then we are good to go. So the inactives right now just dropped. It's time for me to pass you along all the inactives and actives for the Tennessee Titans and Jacksonville Jaguars game. Here they are right now. Start the list off with a surprise as Vic Beasley with his knee is inactive and will not be able to make his first appearance as a Tennessee Titan after we signed him in this offseason. Jamil Douglas is out as well, inactive with his hand. Malcolm Butler positive. Is really good to hear Malcolm Butler with the quad is active for this game. We will definitely need him out there to stop the pass. Derek Robertson with his knee is inactive. A.J. Brown, as we already knew, is inactive as well with his knee. Darrington Evans, hamstring inactive, and a healthy scratch as we sit Jeff Swam, and he is inactive as a coach's decision. Jacksonville Jaguars, as we know, tight end Tyler Davis, still inactive, is going to be out for the game. We knew that as of yesterday. And a healthy scratch as D.D. Westbrook will be inactive for today's game. Now that we know who's active and who's inactive, it's time to go down to the field and watch our boys destroy these Jacksonville Jaguars as they're in our house in our first home game of the season. And I say this to you guys every time, and I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you appreciate me too. If you do, like this episode, click the like button, subscribe, or get a notification by clicking that notifications bell, and you can see tomorrow's episode. And actually, I'll be recapping later on after the game, doing a immediate recap of our game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Win, lose, or draw, you will see and hear from me for sure. But before you leave, and before we go watch this game, I ask you one question. Why tighten up tomorrow when you can tighten up today?